Hello Emmanuelle, welcome to Bali. I'd like to ask you some questions about the Domaine Marc Kreydenweiss. Can you tell me how you became a winemaker? What is the Domaine Marc Kreydenweiss and where are the wines?
The winery Domaine Marc Kreydenweiss has been in the family for 12 generations, for many generations in fact, because the cellar and the house is 300 years old. And we have always been winemaker in this family, and we have the chance to grow vines on very specific soil, and it's been always how to say, it's a chance to grow vines on very specific vineyard. I got married to my husband 25 years ago. And he gave me his passion. He probably, I don't say like this, il m'a donné sa passion. Voilà. He gave me his passion. We own this winery in Alsace for 300 years old in the family, in the same family. And in 1999 we bought a new vineyard in the South Rhône Valley where we produce mainly red wine. So we have white in Alsace and red in the south.
Has it changed a lot the way you do wine to have white and red?
Well, yes, of course, it's a different vinification. So since we've been down to the south, we learned a lot as well. We used to make Pinot Noir in Alsace, so the vinification is slightly different from the red we grow in the south, of course. But really, we learn a lot and we evolve every year. We try to do our best every year.
Thank you. I'd like to know more about maybe, can you tell me why the image today of Marc Kreydenweiss is so important in France? He's a pioneer in biodynamic, has been recognized as such. Can you tell me more about what is biodynamic for you? And also, how you see the future of biodynamic now?
Okay, for me, biodynamic or biodynamic is a philosophy and probably a style of life. It's part of style of life. There is probably a tendency. We tend to eat healthy, so it's part of the same philosophy, style of life. And when we decided to make high quality wine in Alsace, we noticed that we had to go over the step and make sure that we could go even better. We could go deeper in the quality by working differently the vineyard. And in 1989 we started to work in Biodynamic. I remember we met Pierre Moret in Burgundy, who was the first to talk about this subject, and at that time he was trying on 2 hectares, and suddenly we decided to do the same, and we decided to use this philosophy on whole vineyard.
Was it a difficult change to apply in the vineyard?
Not really, because we already used to work with a sort of lutte raisonnée, so we already had this temptation,
Dis-moi, je
cette sensibilité, this sensitivity to make sure that we could get the best quality in the vineyard.
Okay. Can you tell me also more about your terroir, the importance of terroir for you? Does it have an influence on the wine?
It has, yes. It's true that Amblo is unique because we own 12 hectares approximately, and we have such a rich geology. For instance, we grow 4 different Rieslings because they are all produced on different soils. Like we have the Andlo Riesling, which is our village appellation, which is on granite. We grow Wiebelsberg, a Grand Cru site, which is sandstone soil, and Kastelberg, which is probably one of the best Grand Cru in Alsace, is unique. It's a schist. It's called schist, schist de stage. It's a sort of hard stone, and you could not imagine another grape as Riesling on this soil. And what is expressed in the wines is you get a lot of minerality, because the way we work in Biodynamic, you encourage the roots to go as deep as possible, and where the roots find their nourishment. And this is how you get lots of minerality as well in your wines afterwards. And this is important for the balance of the wine, because as long as you have enough minerality, you always have your mouth excited, and it's good to carry on, and you can drink. You never get tired, and that's for us a very important thing. Having the freshness, the minerality,
And the balance.
the balance, and the length. This is for us a good sign when you have this.
So talking about this balance, this minerality, do you think the wines from Alsace suit the food from Asia? Is there a very good balance with the food also?
Of course, completely. That's really correct. The sort of wine we produce, like Riesling, Pinot Gris, or Gewürztraminer sometimes, because we make rather dry Gewürztraminer, which suits perfectly with spicy food and the kind of food in Asia. Plus the fact that in our wines you get this freshness, which make a good combination with the food you find in this country, of course. Yes, I agree.
What wine would you suggest to eat with a very spicy Indian dish, for example? Like
with a curry or Indian
curry.
food, of course, straight away I think about Gewürztraminer, as long as it is a dry Gewürztraminer, which is the case for Kreydenweiss. But I think the Pinot Gris would be a nice combination as well. Oui, for sure. Because,
so what is your vision of, apart from the food, what is your vision with the future of the wines in Asia? Do you think the market is ready for these wines?
Yes, according to what I noticed after these tastings is people here love rather the sweet wine more than the dry wines. They seem to enjoy very much the sweetness. But I think it's the first step, and they probably will move on and change their palate, because this is how I first enjoyed the wine myself. I remember I used to love very sweet wine, and today I drink more dry wines anyway, because well, you can drink more when it's a dry wine instead of a sweet wine.
That's true.
And I think in this country they like the sweetness because maybe they are in the education and they just learn about wine probably, and they seem to just they probably are not, they don't feel secure when they have a dry Riesling, for instance. They probably don't really understand what is behind the profile of the wine, because often they think that Riesling is sweet. It's true that in Germany it's often the case, but Riesling has the best support of acidity, and it should be dry. This is what you look for when you choose a Riesling.
What is, I'll ask just maybe two more questions. How do you think the future of biodynamic, what is the future of biodynamic now? Now that it's been quite established and that a lot of people recognize that, understanding what it is, how do you see its future evolving?
I would say that it seems to be the wish of everybody that we can't continue to pollute our planet, and at least we can do something to protect our planet. And I think there are more and more winemakers who feels that they should do something, at least for the next generation. And I think of my children, and I think they should be able to carry on like it was the case for us in our family. 300 years old is a big time, a long time. And I think it would be good. And in fact, the pesticides and chemicals arrived on the market only 50 years ago. It could be the end now. We could decide stop. Now we come back to the old way. I think il y a une prise de conscience. Il y a une prise de conscience.
I'll translate this.
Yes. That's a good word, I think. Prise de conscience.
I've got one more question for you. If the world ends tomorrow, and I hope not because we want to enjoy this, what would you like to drink before?
A glass of whiskey.
A glass.
Or Chenin, dry one, because I like dry wines.
Now you like dry.
Now I like dry wines, yes.
Well, thank you very much, Emmanuelle, and thank you also for coming to Singapore, and let's enjoy it.